This is the Master Prophet Young Joshua Yawins, the awakened one of the Biafran people, Biafran spiritual leader. The prophet and the founder of the new Igbo Biafran indigenous religion, Rufana. Ụbọchị taa wụ 21st of June 2023. I'm here today to set the record straight because I will not allow all this propaganda that Ejiofor and Ozekhome are pushing every time, all this false narrative. Now, yesterday, now let me start from beginning so that you can understand. On the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu instructed Ejiofor and Ozekhome to send a message to the family to provide him an independent doctor. That is a fact. Now, that is a fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, tell my brothers, or tell my brother, he knows what he's talking about, that is Kanonta. He said, tell my brother, or with Emmanuel, tell my brothers to bring me an independent doctor. That was a fact. Now, Ejiofor informed them, and they are taking care of the matter. Ejiofor filed a suit on the 2nd of this month, to pressure DSS to allow independent doctors to come and examine him. Because remember, there was a time they said that he needed surgery. That is last month. So, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told Ejiofor to tell his family to bring him an independent doctor. And on the 2nd of this month, they filed an application. Not even Ejiofor that filed that application. Well, not Ejiofor that wrote that application, but they gave it to him to go and submit. So, but let's just forget about all those rubbish that is going out there. I don't want to go into that. Something that I can't even imagine that something like that will happen. You have lawyers. One lawyer will write an application. Another lawyer will say, no, I will not allow him to submit it. I must be the one to submit it. And then you will allow that lawyer you will tell this, okay, take the application that you wrote, give it to this person. For me, that is bullshit. Now, there was an application submitted on the 2nd. So when DSS saw that application, they informed Ejiofor on the 3rd of this month that, hey, we have already made an appointment for the doctor to come on the 6th of the month. Now, listen and listen clearly. This is not propaganda. I ask questions. Now, this application was already submitted, and Barrister Jumako and his group were also pushing them. In case, if they don't do this, we're going to put this, or we have already put an application so that we can pressure them to make an appointment with us so that we can, doctor will go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So all these things, because of DSS has seen that an application is already submitted in the court, 2nd of this month. Ejiofor, not knowing that DSS has already made an appointment with Barrister Ejiofor for them to come on the 6th. Now, when DSS saw this thing, they informed Ejiofor, say, hey, you don't need to file this, you don't need to submit this application. We have already given them a time to come, which is on the 6th. So, Ejiofor and Ozekhome received a letter from DSS that the doctors are coming on the 6th. They were well informed. They have 3 days to consult Chike and Akokrat Ngom. They have 3 days. Remember, they knew that these doctors were not coming to perform surgery. They knew ahead of the time. They knew it on the 2nd. And the applications which they submitted was to allow doctors to come and see. Now, DSS said, okay, we have already granted that order already. So the appointment is already on the 6th. Now, it looks like when Barrister Ejiofor wanted to file this thing, might be before that 2nd, it might be maybe 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks before. And it took Ejiofor and Ozekhome like 2 weeks to rewrite everything that Barrister Ejiofor wrote and then submitted their own. Okay? But by that time, Barrister Ejiofor has already gotten a time to bring in the doctors. So it's just like, because the lawyers, they are not working together. I have to be honest with you. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, Barrister Ejiofor and Ejiofor, they don't work together. They are like this cat and mouse. This thing began, you know when it began? When Barrister Ejiofor said, this case is not a case of what we are doing in the Federal High Court. It is a case of extraordinary rendition. Let us stop talking about all those old charges. Let's tell them about rendition. Ejiofor said, what is rendition? This thing has nothing to do with rendition. That was when they started to have problem. Because Ejiofor said, no, the way you are pursuing this case is not good. Because by that time, Ejiofor is here. Ejiofor is still here. But Ejiofor is telling him, no, we are not going to pursue this case this way you are talking about it. We are going to go into rendition. Ejiofor said, no, we are going to pursue all those count charges which they have already labeled on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This is when they started working like this against each other. I have to be honest with you. They have started by that time, almost, let's say, 2 months after the rendition, working against each other, sabotaging each other. And I must submit, if they have sabotaged each other 10 times, Ejiofor has sabotaged him 9. Okay? Because I don't want to say maybe Ejiofor has never done anything. Then it looks like I'm here to lie. But let's say if both of lawyers have sabotaged each other 10 times, Ejiofor has sabotaged Barrister Ejiofor 9 times, which maybe the other one has retaliated. But I don't think there has been any time that Barrister Ejiofor has sabotaged anything that will benefit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I don't want to swear on behalf of somebody, but I have not heard, I have not seen. Okay? Because if Ejiofor is doing anything that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu want or instructed, Ejiofor will not stop it. But a couple of times, things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asked Barrister Lawyer Ejiofor to do, Ejiofor would sabotage it. If I begin counting, it will be like up to 10 times or more. So that's why you see chaos. If they were working together as one, working for one person, it couldn't have been a problem. But Ejiofor has his own interest. Madam Oyibo, Umwai Highway, and etc., etc. And now his interest is in Chike Doziem. You understand? So this is always, he has always conflict of interest. Let's go back to setting the record straight. I saw Chike Doziem recharge card media warrior, Akpakara Chinkom. The same lawyer that Kanonta sacked. Yes, they are sacked. Because they are shameless fools. They are shameless idiots. If your client is in harm's way and the next of kin inform you that you have been fired, if you are a man of honor, you should just leave. Because they are shameless. And they know what they are doing. The case you had yesterday was there, filed 2nd of this month. Ejiofor was informed 2nd of the month, that very day, that, hey, you don't need to file this. We have already have an appointment on the 6th. So Ejiofor knows on the 3rd that there is an appointment in the next 3 days. What did they do? They called Chike Doziem and they said, we cannot allow it because it has to do with Kanonta. Because Kanonta will be bragging that he has succeeded. That Ejiofor will be bragging that he has already succeeded again. So you see, they are fighting a proxy war. At the end of the day, who is being hurt is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So Chike Doziem and Ejiofor don't want any good news to come out anymore from Kanonta. Because he's in charge of the legal team. You have to understand that. If you don't get it, your head is not okay. On the 3rd, they knew about it. The doctors came on the 6th. Ozekhome called them and said, no, we are not comfortable with those doctors that is coming to examine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are not comfortable. They were informed 3 days ago, prior, on them receiving the letter that doctors are coming in 3 days. They said, oh, no. We are not going to allow them to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, when we open up their behind, when I called Canon, I said, what a hell is going on? I asked him questions. I interact with some lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the ones on the other side. There are one on this side and one on this side, one on Chike Doziem side, one on Kanonta side. I contacted some lawyers on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's Kanonta's side. I communed with them, one of them by chatting, okay? I didn't speak on the phone. But Kanonta, I asked, what a hell? It looks like we are even quarreling. Because all those things is just, because I know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu allowed this mess to happen to himself. That's why all this is Nabakashima. Why is that you keep somebody that you know that has been sabotaging you more than 50 times and is sabotaging your siblings, disseminating false information against them, and you still allow that. You say, oh, okay, I forgive you, How can you forgive that bullshit? There's nothing to forgive about. He should have dealt with it and removed that tumor. Everything. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu would have grip of his legal team. There couldn't have been this rubbish going on. So Mazen Nnamdi can allow all this mess to happen to himself. I have to be honest with you. He allowed all this rubbish to happen to himself. The doctors came with Barrister Aloy Ejiofor on the 6th. The doctors, and they said, you cannot go in. They said, why? They said, go and settle with other so-called lead counsel. They left. Ejiofor called Apakara Tingom DOS leader, DOS head, and they said, Kanonta and his brothers and Aloy Ejiofor has brought in doctors to kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What do you hold these idiots? All of them in Radio Biafra, they are fools. They took this message, they disseminated it. Hey, chono kanon te bono, chono munne, oh, ebushe umunne. Then, ehunu Mazen Nnamdi Kanu n'anya. Ehunu ya n'anya, gina chibu munne. For ya n'anya. Iwu ni ukwashi. Iwu ni ukwashi. After 3-4 days, they spread this message that we will not allow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be operated because the sibling wants to kill him. I heard a voice recording they sent me from Radio Biafra, one idiot we're talking about. And they said, that's why we said, no, we are not going to allow it. That only Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be operated in DSS dungeon. And we said, no. They confirmed, agreed, they said it on air document that they are the one who sabotaged the effort for doctors that they have been waiting almost 1 year to come. And remember, this is not the first time that Barrister Aloy Ejiofor has brought in people to check him up. But this particular time was the one that they have been waiting for. Chike Doziem said that they are the one who stopped it. There was another idiot on Radio Biafra. When I heard his voice, he said, that's why we have to stop it. And all the whole Apakara said, that's why they stopped it. Then when I approached Kanonta and he told me everything, I came out, I began to debunk it, and then Kanonta began to release everything. They said, oh no. Ejiofor himself on his Twitter, he said, the lawyers, the doctors did not come to operate him. While he told all those his fools that they came to operate. They should have put on sackcloth and ashes. If it's me, you are lying to me, I will not represent you again. If Kanonta tell me anything, and if it's lie, and I will come out and talk about that thing, the next day I find that it's lie, I will not, whatever he says, I will not talk about it anymore. Unless I see on a hard copy. So, Ejiofor told you that those doctors were coming to operate on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And they said that was the reason they stopped it. When we brought out the document that they knew that these doctors were not coming to operate, that they were coming to make examination, because it was approved by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Ejiofor came out and said, yes, that is truth. But they didn't come through us. But DSS informed you 3 days before, ahead of time, that they are coming on this day. Okay, if they don't come through you as the lead counsel that you claim you are, why don't you come that very day and said, okay, hello, Barrister Ejiofor, yeah, come. Who is this? They are the daughters. Okay, either me, either Ozekhome or Ejiofor has to accompany with Barrister Lawyer Ejiofor. One of us have to accompany the doctors to go and see, to run checkup on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That would have been fair. Or if they said that only one lawyer will go in, they would have said, okay, Barrister Lawyer Ejiofor would have said, okay, Ozekhome, you can go as the lead counsel. You can go. I will stay back. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have gotten the treatment that very day. No, they didn't. Now, after we debunk all their lies, they came out and they said, we are sorry. Ozekhome wrote something. Oh, those doctors, we have approved new doctors that is coming to meet him yesterday. It's not new doctors. Why they keep on lying? One thing I don't understand is that they keep on lying openly. You knew that if you check the application, the letter that Ozekhome sent to DSS, still the same name of those two doctors were written there. But Ejiofor wrote, we are bringing 2 new doctors. And these dear Akwakaratingom have no problem about it. Okay. Yesterday was the day they're supposed to have the lawyers go and check in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And yesterday was also the day the court case which they filed in on the 2nd of the month. They were supposed to have the hearing. Now, you knew that there was an application for the lawyers to come. Okay? You were informed. And you filed this application because somebody gave you application that he has already written and you filed it. And you knew that DSS has told you that they are coming on the 6th. You stopped it. And after that, you went and negotiated with DSS and said, okay, let those 2 people come back again. And the same day, you are to go to court to ask DSS to allow the doctors, which you stopped yourself, to come back. I think I'm missing it. Yesterday's case was filed on the 2nd of this month. You are going back to court because that appointment was yesterday to tell the court to allow DSS, to tell DSS to allow the doctors, which you yourself stopped. You were in the court. DSS still stopped those 2 lawyers again. These people are working together. They are working together. Either Ejiofor and DSS are screwing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or I will say to the DSS that Ejiofor are spoiling the name of DSS. Now, if Ejiofor and Ozekhome were good lawyers, they would have allowed the doctors to go in that day and examine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or they would have accompanied those doctors to go and examine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if they were good lawyers. If they had the best interest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at heart, they would have gone that very day with Barrister Aloy Ejiofor, or they would have said, Ejiofor, okay, you are junior lawyer to Ozekhome, so stay back. Let Ozekhome and those 2 doctors go in and check up Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We wouldn't have had this problem. The lawyers were fighting each other instead of fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ejiofor were fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Ejiofor was fighting Ejiofor. So you see, they are fighting against one another. Everything Barrister Loy Ejiofor wants to do, Ejiofor will be fighting him. At the end of the day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just had a bunch of lawyers fighting each other. Now, this Ifulefus, all of them said, you see now, the same lawyer Kanonta sacked. They are sacked. They are useless idiots. Kanonta has sacked them and they are sacked. Achwana hano. How wonder achu. Now, they went to a court case which has been already there. And what come out of the case? Oh, let them have doctors to go and visit him. You stopped it. You stopped it 2 weeks ago. So, had it been you allow the doctors to check, you would have called off this court case yesterday. They are just fooling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If, please, let's just put all these things aside. Let's put, I am on the side of DOS, I am on the side of Kanonta. Let us put all those things aside. Let's just wait and think. If Ozekhome and Ejiofor were working for the best interest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they wouldn't have stopped those doctors to come and examine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If Chike Doziem are on the best interest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they wouldn't have stopped. They wouldn't have sabotaged. If I say stopped, as if they has power. No, sabotaged. They wouldn't have sabotaged those doctors coming to see him. And let's say if the doctors came, it could have been one victory. Ubua, somebody gara n'ime ọhịa ka gbuo oshishi pụta na-eji onye na-egbu ihe ahụ. Who is doing that? Onye na-eme ihe ahụ? Ejiofor. You sabotaged the doctors. You came out and blackmailed them that they are going to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the dungeon. And you came back again. Oh, we have 2 new doctors. While it is still the same doctors you rejected in the beginning. You came out yesterday. We are going to court so that we can force DSS to allow this. You the one who stopped it. And you were informed 3 days before the time that these doctors are coming. And you didn't tell all these idiots that this court proceeding has been there months before. That this thing is just coincident that it is yesterday. Okay, you sent an application to DSS to allow those two the same doctors, and they came. How come they couldn't go in? Because DSS are not stupid. They allowed you. You assassinate their character. And you are bringing doctors to come. Instead of you to call off the court case, you are still going to court at the same time. And you still want the doctors to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are not stupid. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You cannot eat your cake and have it. 2 doctors were on the gate. And you were in the courtroom fighting for the doctors to come. While the doctors are there, while you are the one who asked them to come for the second time, and you are still going to court because you want to have your mouth yabru, so that when you go to court you have more money. And I was told that they have been paying Ozekhome and Ejiofor from American bank account, and they are claiming that they are not receiving any money from Kanonta's family. They are not receiving any lawyer They will cry. I get back. They are not receiving any money from IPOB. Let me just say it like that. If not, these people, they are going to cry. Please, please, can it happen on Ebu? Does somebody understand what I'm trying to say? This is called you know, and it did do me. You know me, it did do me. You stopped the doctors. You were informed 3 days before that the doctors are coming. If you don't want Barrister Ejiofor to go with the doctors, he would have called Barrister Ejiofor and said, why Ozekhome will be there? Or Ozekhome is going to go in with these people. Kanonta wouldn't have object. Emmanuel wouldn't have object because Emmanuel was to go in and also with Barrister Aloy Ejiofor to witness. Okay, Barrister Aloy Ejiofor would have stayed back. Then Ozekhome will enter with Emmanuel. Everything would have worked fine. But no, they stopped it because they don't want Kanonta to get the credit he has been getting. Because Kanonta is in charge of the legal team outside the country. In the country, he's in charge. Everything that Barrister Ejiofor is doing, Kanonta is the one looking into it. And everything has been successful. The one that will have problem is the one that Ejiofor and Ozekhome is doing, which Chikedoziem are the one screwing up everything. Imagine the last court proceeding, not this one. Ejiofor signed an affidavit on behalf of his client, which you're not supposed to do. And he lied on top of it. Because of that, the court ordered that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would remain in detention. Because his lawyers have screwed up the process. So the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu screwed up the process. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. This Akokratingom didn't know about it. No, if they know, they will not talk about it. Now, ask Ejiofor to send us to bring openly today, tomorrow, the decision from the High Court, the last court case, not the one they went yesterday. And the one they went yesterday is not a case. If I call it a case, it is pathetic. It is a petition, an application where they say, please allow doctors to come, which they have already allowed the doctors to come a week ago. You stopped it. So please tell Barrister Ejiofor, I'll call him Barrister today. No, he is Charge and Bell lawyer. I cannot call that Ifulefu Barrister. He is Akokratingom Charge and Bell lawyer. Tell Charge and Bell lawyer to bring the decision of the court, last court case, not the one of 19th, the other one. Bring it on his Twitter handle and go and read. The court specifically said that Ejiofor lied 2 times. Ejiofor has misrepresented Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ejiofor, because of the application that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will remain in jail because Ejiofor has screwed it up. This is what is written on the application, on the decision of the court. So, if you are the brothers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or the sisters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will still allow the same lawyer to continue to torpedo everything. Then there is something that is coconut on your head. That means Ishiare Gemma. Now, let's just put Kanonta aside. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is your younger brother, and you are the oldest in the family, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is your younger brother, and you went to the court proceeding, and you were there hard when the judge said the lawyer screwed up everything, that the lawyer shouldn't have done that because it is written. Give the paragraph, everything, that because of what the lawyer did, that your brother will remain in detention, that this case is over. When you come out, what will you do to Ejiofor? Number one, if DSS has informed Ejiofor that the doctors will come on the 6th. And the doctors came. Ejiofor went and sabotaged it. And they came out and broadcast that those doctors were coming to murder Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If you are elder brother or senior brother or get Toro Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is your baby brother, and you were in the court and you saw what happened, would you still retain Ejiofor as your brother's lawyer? Because you are now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is now your younger brother, so you are the next of kin. So will you still retain Ejiofor? If you retain Ejiofor, you are ewu. So Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has done a good thing. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has done a good job. He is in charge of the legal team. He's in charge of the ones in Kenya. He's in charge of the ones in America. He's still in charge of Bruce Fenn. He's still in charge. That's why you don't see Bruce Fenn coming out screwing up. Since Kanonta is in charge, you don't see rubbish coming out anymore. He's in charge of the ones in England. He's in charge of the ones in Europe. He is still working with Barrister Lawyer Ejiofor, and things are going fine. But where there is a Gidaga Bozo is with Ejiofor. Onye se na ihe ọjọọ dị ya mma, Chineke nye ihe ọjọọ pụrụ mmaji. Ihe Ejiofor mere na Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, onye se na ọ dị ya mma, Chineke nye ya the same thing. In fact, I double ya up, because it double ya then it isn't fair. Nye exactly. Ihe ni ọjọọ niile Ejiofor mere na Mazen Nnamdi Kanu na DSS dungeon ka o mee na ndụ gị, and gị complain no ala kugbu oge. Onye ọbụla lere anya ihe Ejiofor mere, these two things Ejiofor mere, hapụgodi ndị ọzọ m na-enweghị proof m ga-egosi gị now. Enwere m proof na ọ ya kwụsịrị the doctors. Enwere m proof na maka ihe release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that day kwesịrị release ya. Those two things nwere proof. Gesi na ọ dị gị mma, elu na ala megide gị, ala Igbo megide gị, gị ṅụrụ mmiri elu megide gị, ịta ọjị megide gị, ịta ọsọ ọjị megide gị, ịrachara mmanụ shi ala Igbo, mmanụ megide gị, elu megide gị, Chukwu megide gị, ekwensu megide gị, mmụọ nọ n'ala nna gị megide gị n'ụwa, megide gị n'ụwa ọzọ. So concerning those two things, happen go that propagandas, or you guys say, oh, maybe Kanonta is brainwashing me. Okay, Kanonta is brainwashing me, but those two documents, seeing those two documents, if you still retain Ejiofor as lawyer of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, will you still retain him? If you say yes, ihe ọjọọ niile n'elu ụwa, otu ihe like ihe ọjọọ mee na ndụ gị, ma ojije ma oyoyo, aga m eti gị ezinụlọ gị, because to me, ihe awụ ihe ọjọọ. You know me, you dey sabotage me. You know me, you dey do me. The same Ejiofor ka Mazen Nnamdi Kanu guziri ozi, si ya, gazie Chikedozie m second month of the rendition na, because Emmanuel gara gwa ya that ha na-akpọ aha Kanonta na Radio Biafra na ọ ya rere Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say, Shia, stop that thing. Ejiofor ejini de oji after 3 months, 6 months. When Barrister Lawyer Ejiofor came, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu ejie the same oji to Barrister Lawyer Ejiofor. Lawyer Ejiofor ejie to Chikedozie m. Still, Chikadozim didn't do it till today. So they love that narrative. He push that you know that is not truth. Gonna push that narrative. And this recharge card media warrior are working towards it because they took a stupid oath. Onye se na ihe ọma dị ya mma, ihe ọma sonye na ihe na-anọkọ ala Igbo. Onye hụrụ ihe ọjọọ soro ihe ọjọọ. Onye hụrụ ihe ọjọọ maracha nọ ihe ọjọọ. Elu megide ya, ala megide ya, ụmụada megide ya, ndị nwụrụ anwụ megide ya, ndị mbụ megide ya, ndị egede megide ya, mmụọ nọ n'ala nna ya megide ya, ụmụ ndị niile egburu egbu aka ha dị ụcha nọ n'ala Igbo megide ha na ihe na-anọkọ ala Igbo. Nga nnụ ha si na Kanu ntarịrị Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, and you were aware. Ndị niile egburu n'ala Igbo niile aka ha dị ụcha megide gị. Ụmụ ejima niile egburu n'ala Igbo niile aka ha dị ụcha ha megide gị. Ndị niile eji hazie ihe n'ala Igbo niile megide gị na ihe na-anọkọ ala Igbo. Ihe ọjọọ bụ ihe ọjọọ. That's why I came out today to set the record straight. To set the record straight. Yesterday, they went to talk. That thing wouldn't bring anything. It's not even needed. Because they would have seen Maazị Nnamdi Kanu on the 6th. And they stopped it. So, stop listening to recharge card media warrior. Stop listening to Radio Biafra. They are waking one of the Biafran people, Biafran spiritual leader, because they are brainwashing you with lies. If they will still continue pushing that Kanunta is killing his brother, want to kill his brother, sold his brother, Nanaego, knowing that that is not truth. Because they are jealous that Kanunta is the one running around doing all those things. They think that no one in here are because they want to be the one here are no, Dojo. Stop listening to all these people you see. Stop listening to them. Because if somebody go and check the letter Ozekhome wrote to DSS this week. It stated the names of the lawyers, of the doctors that are going to see Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. But Ejiofor said we are sending new lawyers, new doctors. Because he knows those idiots will listen to him. And they run. Oh, we are sending new doctors. The same name of the people are written there black and white. And they saw that Ejiofor brought a letter that, oh, I'm sorry, those doctors didn't come to kill Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. They didn't go to operate him. They are coming to just to check. They were still running with the same thing. Still, we have said it, we are not going to change. And I get change. Those people are pathetic. Now I know at the time that people were ashamed. Would eziokwu to buy anymore. To buy no brozo. Were ashamed GHBC. Ihe ọjọọ ga-eso nno. Ihe ọjọọ ga-eso nno. Ihe ọjọọ ga-eso nno. Ndị Igbo tetere n'ụra. Chikedoziem na his allies, they are enemy of Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Because if they love him, they will not stop the doctors. If they love him, they will not stop the doctors yesterday. They are the one also. They stopped the doctors yesterday because they were not the one to go in with the doctors. They thought they are the one, they will send somebody to go in with Mazen and the Kano. No. So because of it, they stopped it with their gang in DSS. They have some people they are working with. So they are just using our brain, and fools fall into that. They stopped it once, they stopped it again. If you have special connection in DSS, as you claim, then why will you be stopped for the second time? You are guys. Because we have to change the narrative. Narrative must be changed. Do you know why we are like this? Now Germany, here in Germany, more especially this place in Bayern, webe onye ọcha ahụ gburu ndị ochie ahụ bi n'Israel. Ịma onye ọcha ahụ chọm ịkpọ ya aha nga nsogbu. Onye ọcha ahụ gburu ha almost, let's say, 5 million. Ụwa niile ka na-ebe akwa ya ruo taa. How many million ka ndị Rome gburu na Egypt? How many millions ka ha gburu na Nubians? How many millions ka British gburu na the region of Nigeria and the other place? How many millions? Egburu 6 million ụwa na-ebe akwa, but ndị egburu more than 100 millions of ndị ojii. Enwe nke ị ga-ahụ nga edere ya na those people wu ndị ọjọọ. They change the narrative. And enweghị onye bịara nye counter narrative. Today, Lord Lugard watch good people. Because they were religion. They are good people. Somebody must change the narrative. Somebody must counter any propaganda. If not, you happy ya derika wezioko. I say arụ gbafọ ya wụrụ omenala. Ejiofor and Ozekhome are incompetent fools, and they have been fired by the next of kin and the man in charge of the Lego team, which is Kanonta. And so it is. How about Keriwala na High Court to email new applications just to entice Mazen and the Kano to forgive them? No. We have seen the behind of the Paiwan Tapa. And the manya Dimbo gebute, Diochi gebute. Okay, toze anyoto. Chuku gozieno. Share this program. We have to change. Counter. The Akbakara Tingom recharge card media warrior. And some people now say zombies. With their DOS my behind Chikedoziemu vegetable. Ne fulo efu Ozekhome fulo efu lawyers without Chineke idiots. Ndewo mama.